Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is nonsense. It's like pure abject nonsense.
A lot of movies, the MCU is a victim of this, will eventually kick me out. You know, it's like, it takes so much time, and then I'm like, oh, you did that sort of feeling. Usually a good, at least 20 minutes. Because, like, the opening scenes, we've talked about this a lot, but it's like the beginning of you setting up your continuity. You may just have a character talking. Like, you can't fuck that up. And they can usually get through quite a few scenes before it's like, oh no, here we go, we've done the thing. Yeah, I was done with this movie at 1 minute in. It was, so, yeah. It's the multiverse of madness. So, of course, we see a multiversal Strange running in this mysterious world with a girl. That's how this starts. And then he says, look, over there, or whatever, and points, and we see a big book, and then she goes, the Book of Ashanti. And I remember thinking at the time, I was like, you guys both know whatever that thing is. So why are you saying that? Is it for me? It's like, yes, it is for me.
Just for you.
Yeah.
I've got a question. I'm gonna have to stop you there because I have a question and I feel it's important. I've seen Doctor Strange once or twice before. Why doesn't he just use portals to get to the book instantly?
Oh, I can explain that, right? He doesn't have any. This guy doesn't. I can tell you why he doesn't have any, because we are very good faith here, and we would assume that he doesn't have it, because if he did have it, he would obviously use that. Because if...
Well, of course, portals honestly, are incredible.
The way you're saying this is like you think that he did have that, and if he did, it would ruin the entire scene. In fact, it would ruin the entire film. So why...
Muller, I don't even know my own name at this point. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Strange summons a fucking hatchet and chops off another limb to save Wong, and it's like... oh wow, that's useful.
Yeah, doing that.
The best part of it is the monster doesn't notice. It just is walking along, and it doesn't notice at all that one of its limbs is gone and Wong has dropped down. They even have a musical cue to let you know that you can calm down now. We're not in the exciting part. Wong drops to the ground. It's like dun 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 dun. Like it plays chill music while Wong's like, you're not in the presence of a sorcerer supreme. You're supposed to be like, I know the customs, and it's just like, guys. He saved America. He then wants proof she's from a different dimension, and so she shows him the corpse of Defender Strange. Strange believes her, and the first thing he says, I think, is like, bad enough. A little girl has this power with the damage it can do. Imagine it falls into the hands of an enemy. And she gives him like a, oh shit, you're gonna kill me look. And he's like, and then Wong goes, little girl, if you would come with us to Kamatage, we can keep you safe. And I was like, holy fuck, I would get out of there.
So suspicious.
It's so suspicious.
We're going to take you to a magic land where you'll be always safe.
We're going to take care of you, little girl, don't you worry. So yeah, he's convinced, and they take her over to Kamatage. Before they leave, Wong is like,
the creature that killed him, did it have the same markings as the octopus?
Runes.
This isn't sorcery.
It's witchcraft.
And that's bad.
I just thought it was funny. It was like, oh, okay. That is the thing we're going with now. All right.
It was. This isn't men. It's women.
Dun dun dun.
Women are forbidden to show their chi.
You are the daughter.
Yeah, she's tending to apple trees. I think.
Yeah.
Apples.
It's picturesque. Everything's very chill. She's got little farm animals running around. It's all wonderful.
Sheep.
Yeah. And Doctor Strange's like, oh my god, this is great. How you doing? He establishes, like, I need your help. I want you to come and help us defend a girl who's got the power to travel through dimensions. He tells her a lot. And immediately it's like, bro, you know she's a witch, and you know the person behind this is a witch. And how many witches do you know?
Yeah.
Like, one? You might want to entertain the idea that the person who just enslaved a town could be behind the evil thing that's happening. Unfortunately, he just goes, yeah, we got the girl, she travels through dimensions, she's a Kamatage, want to come help us out? And so, it's on a platter for her. It's all there. Everything she wants.
And then, so what does she say?
Well, so yeah, to clarify for anybody who's a little bit confused, right? So, Wanda's the bad guy. She's behind all of this. We're about to find out her reasoning. It's just
it was Wanda all along.
That's the nature of this conversation. Unfortunately, she says, why don't you bring America here? I can take care of her.
What if you brought America here?
here.
Yeah, I know what it's like. To be on your own, hunted for abilities you never wanted.
And then Doc Strange
can
stops
protect her.
walking, and then she goes, "Oh, you didn't
never
tell
told
me
me
her
her
name,
name,
did
did
you?"
you?
And it's like, how did you
Everyone
fuck
is
that up? How do
Everyone
you
is
fuck that up?
Stupiding each other.
And it's funny because they lampshade it. She's like, "Oh man, lying," you know.
You know, the hex was the easy part. The lying, not so much.
It's like you didn't have to really lie. He gave you everything. You could have just said, "Oh, so what's her name?" That's all you had to do. And then she reveals the reality around them, which is not the happy little trees with the happy little sheep. And
Can you just go to a
It's
normal,
actually
nice-looking
Mustafar.
place?
I just have to highlight this. She reveals a hellscape. It looks like Kaled on steroids. There is like dark red mist everywhere. The soil is practically blood. The sun is red. It's like, what the fuck is happening here?
Where is this? Where is this even?
I think the implication is that it was that forest at the end of WandaVision, but the Darkhold is just stripped.
Oh yeah,
of
I
life.
understand what they're saying. The Darkhold did it. It's hilarious. Like, instead of showing like trees that have rotted away, which I think is a way subtler and way more interesting thing to have done, it's like a cartoon evil hell world. I was expecting Shadow the Hedgehog to be there. Just be like, yeah, man, this is my house.
Yeah.
Because it's just
This
like,
is-
wow,
like,
you are evil. Like, look at your...
This is like Zod showing Superman the fucking mountains of skulls.
The foundation has to be built on something.
Oh my god!
Why would you do, what is this?
Jesus, mate.
This isn't helping. This makes you look a little evil.
You know, you probably should have just kept the hex up, actually.
Yeah,
Just while he's here, because because she reveals she has the Darkhold to him, and then he's like, oh, that's like an evil book.
And it makes people evil. And you should have been able to figure that out yourself before you chose to read it, because it is a giant book made of ash with like all these embers flying off of it. It is clearly an evil book.
The Darkhold only showed me the truth. Everything I lost can be mine again.
And you might immediately be like, wow, what the fuck does that have to do with sending tentacle monsters after an innocent little girl? And you're like, well, the first thing Doctor Strange says is, Wanda, you created those children with magic. They aren't real. And her response...
That's what every mother does.
So here's the thing. I heard that in the theater and I was like out loud, like, that is not the same. That is not
what?
It's literally the opposite of magic.
It's not magic at all. It's very biological.
It literally is the opposite. It is a purely well-explored biological process. We know so much about it, and it is not magic.
Now they know the multiverse is at stake. Wanda's coming here, full power. This is terrifying. All everyone, basically. So, you might be thinking to yourself, did they address not calling in any superheroes? Well, you know what my favorite one was? A fucking guy with a bow and arrow. Like, really? You literally have a whole army of archers. You fucking moron. I think the first thing that he says is, you are justifiably angry.
You had to make terrible sacrifices.
Nah.
I was very annoyed to fucking hear him say that.
Very annoyed.
And what you discover is he's referring specifically to what she had to do to Vision, and it's like, what does that have to do with this?
Yeah, that was just an isolated bad thing that happened in her life.
She's over Vision.
Well, I mean, she doesn't give a shit about Vision.
I'm glad you said that. I was going to bring it up in about a couple of sentences. Isn't it interesting that her entire motivation has nothing to do with Vision?
But yet she'll wheel out Vision's corpse to try and justify her insanity.
It is strange how little Vision ever comes up in this movie.
I will go further. I will say it's abject assassination of her character that all of her perfect worlds don't have Vision in it after you watch WandaVision, and well, I think that's all you need to prove that this isn't completely incongruous with what they've established. Absolute fuck up that she doesn't even care about Vision beyond saying he died and that pissed me off. Now I'm going to go to other universes in which people who are previously dead are now alive that I can hang out with. It's like Vision? And she's like, no.
No, doesn't come up again.
It's infinite universes. There has got to be one where he didn't die and the kids are fine.
Creatively speaking, he should have been in this film.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
it's like required. Yeah, so that's what he opens with. You're justifiably angry. Fucking annoying. And then he says, you've had to make terrible sacrifices. And she cuts him off angrily and says, I blew a hole through the head of the man that I loved and it meant nothing. Don't speak to me about sacrifices, Stephen.
Dude literally died.
Died.
So it's worse than that. Not only did he allow himself to be fucking killed in order to try and save the universe, he agrees with her. He said, you had to make terrible sacrifices. And then she's like, actually, I have made loads of sacrifices.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you? Are you okay? As the Darkhold has clouded your mind,
rotted your brain. Wanda's not responsible for any of this because the Darkhold has corrupted her. That is not true. You'd like to believe it because it would make the film better, but it's not, unfortunately. So then, maybe the fact that she's saying that this was all about being merciful, and she uses the word mercy and reasonable. She was being reasonable.
Yeah.
She calls herself reasonable, and Doctor Strange is like, reasonable? You fucking send demons after this girl. And then she's like, that was reasonable. I didn't want to come for her myself. And it's like, wow, you're an idiot. Do you understand that, like, by sending those things, you killed way more people than you would have if you have no goal to kill anybody? Gargantos is the example we'll go with, because he's in this universe, meaning she could have gone after her personally. He's smashing and crashing through everything to very fumbly try and pick her up. But then what? I'm assuming he can't sap the power himself. He has to bring her to you? Or you have to come to him to get the power, right? Is that how that works?
Presume. Well, if she wait, sorry. If she sends a monster after America and in another universe, it has to be able to extract the powers, right? Otherwise, how can the powers be delivered to Wanda?
I wanted to talk about this in the first scene, but I was like, I'm gonna have to wait. I feel like we've waited long enough. So the idea with these monsters is hopefully that they suck the power from America and they then teleport themselves to Wanda to be sucked. Is that the idea?
It has to be, otherwise it doesn't make any sense at all, doesn't it? Like, they have to be able to travel the multiverse, because she can't travel the multiverse, so there's no means that she has to get those powers unless they can do it for her.
Like,
but how is that a power that they have? Can they?
Yeah, well, the first monster...
Can you suck out all powers that someone has?
Then we're supposed to assume that spaghetti monster would have yelled at her until a blue light came out of her and went into it. She falls and dies, and then it's like, I have the power now, and I know how to use it. Open portal. Hey, there's Wanda. Walks in, and then she goes, and then it falls over and dies, and then she's got the power. That has to be her strategy, and I have no idea how she knows that any of that would work.
There's really no reason to think it would, right? Because again, America is the only person in the multiverse with this power, so there would be no evidence or information pertaining to it at all on how it works, that it's a power that can even be transferred between people. There'd be nothing.
Blaine suggests, like, I think you'll dreamwalk to that world and take the powers while the demon holds America. So all that highlights is that she should just be going personally every time. Why send these monsters?
If that's possible.
Well, it's not even about
it being,
it's just exactly. There's so many reasons why this is so much stupider than just going yourself. Why don't you just fly over, pick her up with telekinesis, zap her power, and you don't have to destroy a building. You don't have to throw a motorcycle.
Doesn't draw any attention.
No, yeah. You could even drop down and be like, "You have great power. I can sense it. Are you okay? Are you safe? I'm the Scarlet Witch. I am." Oh, maybe even introduce yourself as just Wanda. I'm a fucking hero in this universe or whatever. Because maybe she even says, like, I can tell from your signature you're not from this. Basically, end the conversation with, like, can I look after you? Can I take care of you? Especially because Wanda would know at that point that she's running away from monsters that she doesn't know the context for. She'd be like, I'll look after you. Come to my nice house. Now just sit in this nice chair. Drink this nice tea.
It's made of candy.
Yeah, now you're asleep. Tie you down, zap you with power, kill you in my dungeon. Nobody knows I've even done this. Nobody even knows who America Chavez is. You can bury that corpse. Nobody would know anything. But no, I will send a giant tentacle monster after you in New York City. Because I'm being merciful. They have a throwaway line for that once they establish dreamwalking, because I don't know that this film knew it was going to do dreamwalking in the first half when they were making this shit. it's so awkward when Mordo explains it, which we're actually getting to soon. He explains it, and then America's like,
Why didn't you do that to begin with?
When Doctor Strange goes,
because that was her being reasonable.
It's like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry?
whatever.
She's trying to get in their heads.
Fortify your minds! And so...
But yeah, she crawled out of the gong, and then she's like, "Oh, you sacrificed all those lives."
You say that so casually.
Yeah,
she crawled out of the gong.
Well,
Yeah,
what can we
she
say?
does.
Yeah, they were definitely trying to evoke like Japanese horror when she comes out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm sure people would say like, Raimi getting his flavor in there once again. I just like, okay.
Yeah, like I
don't
see
know.
that. It's just like, how did we get here to have this happen as an image?
It's like, it's cool and creepy, sure. I had no fucking concept of this being a possibility, and I never do with any fucking thing that her or Doctor Strange do. They just do things, and it's like, yeah, that's a thing now.
You gave all those lives just to keep me from my children.
You took those lives.
Yeah, it's
like,
really awkward,
yeah.
because it's just like, why the hell would... Why
would she say that? Like, how does she not understand that she killed them?
Yep. What else can you say about that? She's like, you were the one that killed them. It's like, no, it was you.
I'm not a monster, Stephen. I'm a mother.
Wanda, you have no children. They don't exist.
Oh, but they do. In every other universe.
Okay. So this kind of goes against what you said earlier, where you were like, your magical nonsense children are just as meaningful as any other children because mothers make their children this way all the time. Now you're saying, yes, my ones are fake, but there are other ones in other universes that are real. Which is, like I said, very different from what she said earlier. But okay, you're saying this now. And then, Strange asks her the most obvious and basic question.
What if you reach them? What happens to the other you? What happens to their mother?
This is an obvious question. He doesn't have a response and they fight.
Yeah.
You're a bitch.
Here, snakes coming to get you.
That was
And then
quite
he,
funny.
like, blocked them.
Did you like it when he went...
Yeah.
It's part of the spell. You have to become the snake. Makes total sense.
I was like, what the fuck? You have to do that to do the spell. Yeah, that makes the most sense.
He blocks him and then just like throws Strange across the room. The cape doesn't help him. He gets hit.
Yeah, the cape once again doesn't give a fuck. And what's probably worth mentioning is Wong is doing nothing throughout all of this.
A few moments ago.
No, he's just standing there watching the snakes. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Oh yeah, that's what you were doing, just watching the snakes.
Yeah, that's true. He's the audience insert, okay? Yeah. Snake's dead, tosses him, then she grabs America, and that's when Wong decides to do something, and then he gets thrown across the room as well.
Yeah.
You idiot! The Darkhold wants a copy!
Legend speaks of a mountain with the wretched spells you see carved into its walls. It's there the Darkhold was transcribed, Mount Wondergore. No one has survived the journey.
Perhaps we will be the exception.
Again, he could have lied. We'll get there in terms of she provides him a sling ring, and it's like, oh god, I hate that he has that. It's such a good weapon, but he'll never use it as a weapon.
The Darkhold was transcribed on Wondergore. No one has survived the journey.
Perhaps we will be the exception.
Nope! Haha! Yes!
Cunt. So, we wake up. Doctor Strange realizing he's got some funky bracelets on that mean he can't use any of his abilities. They don't act with much urgency. Doctor Strange first wants to talk to Christine, the equivalent in this universe.
I assume I have you to thank for these.
One of 838 Stephen's magical relics.
838, Stephen? Is that some kind of cyborg me? Or...
Our universe is 838, and we've designated yours 616.
Oh,
You guys sure must know a lot about the multiverse. You got someone going around naming realities.
What does it mean to be able to do that if you can't travel between multiverses? If America's the only person who can travel between multiverses, how do they like scientifically study and explore? Like, how do they? What does it mean to know that there's a universe called 616 and that yours is 83? It means you've cataloged universes that can you observe them? Can you see what's in them?
Oh yeah,
like,
that's actually they couldn't have cataloged more than literally that, unless Doctor Strange cataloged a couple.
Why is their universe not Universe 1?
Just about to ask that. Because I would be like, oh, so we're 1, of course, because it's us.
Because we're the best.
And we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, what is their frame of reference for all these different universes?
No idea.
I guess it's Doctor Strange dreamwalked into them.
Yeah, because I thought he did all that secretly. He only told them once he caused an incursion, is what they say, right?
Yeah, that's what they say.
And so at that point, what information is he going to give you? It's like, I went to one that was paint, call that, 131. It's like, why?
Universe P.
Nobody cares. And then he's like, so what is this place? Hydra? Shield? And then Mordo's like, neither. And he's like,
what is this place? Some sort of Suicide Squad?
And he's like, well, what then? He goes, the Illuminati. We'll see you now.
So they're evil, right?
It is like, it just evokes the, so,
yeah, why did you call them that?
But it's set up as this like huge revelation, and ultimately it just boils down to, it's just your version of the Avengers.
Yeah,
Okay, you got different members, but it's the same fucking principle.
And they go with the good old-fashioned undercutting, with his response being the Illuminati.
It's not that big of a word, Doctor Strange. I think you'll be okay. I thought you were smart. You used to be smart.
You used to be, yeah.
Not anymore!
Stephen Strange, you are now called before the Illuminati. I, Baron Karl Mordo, the Sorcerer Supreme, who hereby...
Carl? Not funny!
Shield gets thrown in. Bounce. It goes to Captain Carter.
Captain Carter, first Avenger.
Why would you do that?
Throw this fucking shield.
I guess she's really pissed off for some reason.
Well, it was because they wanted the shot of the shield flying back, and then you see. I think the clearest example of this is when they show Mr. Fantastic. It's like, you did a portal from like the feet up so that you could have the reveal be as like maximally potent as possible from a meta sense. Oh look, it's John Krasinski. You all wanted him in the role, right? It's like, yeah, like, but why'd you shoot it like this? Like, I don't get it. It feels like in 10 years' time you watch that and you would just be like, man, it was really weird how like they put all of this exaggerated emphasis on a pretty inconsequential like thing in this movie, or at least in context.
Blackagar Boltagon.
Blackagar Boltagon, the greatest name for
Oh my god.
It made perfect sense in the comic book stuff.
Well, I was going to say, I've got no context for why he was named that. It just sounds funny.
Keeper of the Terrigen Mists, the Inhuman King.
Blackagar Boltagar.
And they got Anson Mount back as Black Bolt, Blackagar Boltagon from the Inhuman show. And, they're going to really utilize his talent here.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Blackagar Boltagon.
And then, Captain Marvel, but not Brie Larson. It's
Maria Rambeau.
Yes.
Sure, she'll be much less of a bitch.
Yes. And then, Reed Richards comes in. Reed is like, Stephen, we're not worried about the Scarlet Witch's impact on this universe. We're worried about you. And he's like, what? And then it says that when you're in a universe that's not your own, even through dreamwalking, you leave a footprint. And the larger the footprint, the more likely you cause an incursion, which can destroy that universe or that universe and yours. That's what he says. Reality. It destroys everything that we know about this film and everything that's going to happen. Because, of course, the dumbest thing that could be said in this whole movie comes out of Reed Richards.
Smartest man alive.
Great. So first they say that, and then he's, like, confused. It's like, Doctor Strange is like a fucking hero in your universe. What's going on? And then we hear...
We should tell him the truth.
Our final member, Professor Charles Xavier.
The way Mordo introduces him as well, it's like, and I forgot to mention the final member of the council.
I just forgot.
You know why?
Like, wow,
you know
thanks,
why?
Cock.
Professor X was
like,
fucking lost on his way.
Yeah, he had to change out his catheter bag or something. I was like, oh, fucking hell.
An alarm goes off.
The building's been breached.
No shit, genius.
Turns out Wanda is assaulting their base. And they're like, wait,
no.
So they
Try
all
and rag.
awkwardly walk off to go fight her, except for Mordo and Charles.
Even though Mordo is the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, well, Mordo's a fucking cowardly little bitch. That's all he is in this movie. We know this. So of course he doesn't want to get involved in the fight. He's scared. But they had like the weirdest bit of... There's loads of really shit dialogue in this, but this one just threw me off completely, and I'm assuming it's similar for you guys. Charles just said, Stephen, if you should escape this facility, please make your way to the Book of Ashanti. Like he's a fucking quest giver, and it's like, I'm sorry, were you gonna kill me a second ago?
Yeah. That was fucking bizarre.
She's heading for the child. Watch him. We'll vote on our return.
Stephen, should you manage to escape this chamber, you must guide America Chavez.
The hell are you saying?
Mordo is the audience. He's like, what the hell are you saying? Like, what? Christine realizes the base is under attack, and then she says, everyone get out of here, and then struggles for like 10,000 years trying to open up America's box. I don't know why. I don't know why this...
Yeah, why can't it just be a single button or something?
Don't say America's box.
It should be an emergency, slam dunk, open up... Like, what if there's a fucking fire hazard? Surely you have a way of opening these things up. You have the control panel, but she's typing away for fucking ages. Just like, I can't do it. It's like, you opened up strangers and you didn't even type anything. Scarlet Witch is heading to America's box. And then... oh no. The Down Syndrome Avengers. They fucking kill you.
This
scene is so fucking terrible.
Yes, it is.
It's like, Wanda, be chill. I know kids are cool. I have my own. And then she's like, do they have a mother that's still alive? And he's like, yeah. It's like, good. Someone can raise them. And it's like, Reed, if you needed any more of a red flag, buddy. And then comes the legendary line. You know, I don't even know, like... Because there's some people listening to this who have no idea what happens next. There's going to be at least one person in chat who's like listening to this as the story unravels. They're picturing in their head the 4 superheroes standing across from Scarlet Witch, and they may have some awareness. Maybe we should do this first. Captain Marvel is almost, as far as we are aware, quote unquote, indestructible, and has like the power to just blast through basically everything. So she's pretty powerful.
I mean, surely it really is a thing that like Captain Marvel may well be as strong or stronger than the Scarlet Witch.
I don't see why she wouldn't be. I'm willing to agree that they might draw, but there's no way that Captain Marvel loses because she has the indestructible element while Scarlet Witch does not.
Yeah, Captain Marvel flew through Thanos' ship and like blew it up. She has to be the strongest, right?
Yes.
You'd think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, I'm just trying to run through them quickly. Captain Carter, kind of weak compared to Scarlet Witch, so she's not really. You don't need to worry about her. Black Bolt, for those who don't know. Well, someone here is probably much better suited than I am to explain Black Bolt's powers, I guess. Anybody want to take that one?
Yeah, Black Bolt could have just opened his mouth at any time and fucking vaporized her. All he had to do was go, hey, bitch, and he would have been dead.
She's like, what can you do? And he just says, cunt.
Yeah. Wanda, stop. We know you're looking for a way to be with your children. You know what? Black Bolt can tell you the way. Go ahead, Black Bolt.
Can her witchcraft protect her from this? Like, if he had, like, screamed at her...
I doubt it.
Magic of something.
Had to move really fast.
Yeah, she'd probably need to know it's coming to be able to defend herself from it.
Right.
If only maybe if someone could tell her...
Smartest man alive.
I don't know. Anyway, the next person in line would be Reed Richards. Okay, now, Gary, you can explain his power set. Go right ahead.
Okay, well, he's stretchy and really, really fast. And I mean, they didn't explain it in this movie, but he is the smartest man in the Marvel universe because his brain doesn't work like a human brain. It's the same aspect of his powers. So his brain can basically
quick and stretchy.
Quick and stretchy. He can think things out quicker than anybody, and he would have figured out a way to snap her neck. It would have been just that easy. He's like Elastigirl in the Pixar films is rad, like the way they show the stretchy powers.
Yeah,
easily.
I remember talking about that with you because she's really fast in Incredibles when she punches people and stuff. It goes like that's how she's stretching. But in this movie and in some other stuff, it'll go as it's going forward. It's like, oh man, that's gonna get me. With all of that known, right? That's your power set. How in the fucking world is the Scarlet Witch?
Together? Yeah.
How is the Scarlet Witch gonna defeat this team? Well, Reed Richards is a very gracious man. He's like, you know what? I've given her every chance in the book. Now it's time to let her know that she's not looking great in this fight. I would like to let her know about my friend and his powers and how they work in order
Might as well have said, you look fat in those creams you're wearing too.
Blows him up immediately. Yeah, I don't, like I said, I don't know how else to say it. Reed Richards explains to the Scarlet Witch what Black Bolt's powers are and what she needs to do to kill him.
Pretty much, yeah.
And then she does that.
Wanda, Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth.
What mouth?
Smartest man alive.
And the defense for this is Reed Richards has never been street smart, so.
Out of here.
Street smarts!
So even ignoring
Street Smarts 101. Jesus Christ.
Street smarts!
Nobody said that. Tell me, please. Nobody said that.
Yeah, no, that's actually the most popular defense of this moment.
Oh my fucking God.
That's not even a defense.
Read a comic book, for fuck's sake.
Time for street smarts with
Mr. Fantastic.
Shut up, you're all gonna die. Street smarts.
For those who don't know, because there are some who don't know in this chat right now, listen, I'm sure of it. You're thinking to yourself, so Black Bolt's just been killed. His head's been fucking blown off, essentially. 3 heroes remaining. What do? Well, Captain Carter does nothing. Captain Marvel does nothing. Reed Richards does the best move he's got. Slowly moves towards her with his stretchy hand.
Slow, fucking
really slowly.
At which point he is turned into spaghetti by Wanda. Just a
slowly
big old pile of
from the ends of his limbs up.
Painfully. The ends of his limbs up, yes, not from his head, painfully.
Right as the spaghettification of his head would have happened, she explodes it.
Can't be understated how fucking retarded that was.
This guy can stretch anything, anywhere.
Let me grab it. I'm gonna grab you with my hand. I'm
strangle you with my cock.
You're almost curious, like, what do you think he would have wrapped his fingers around her and been like, gotcha?
Smartest man alive.
We cut back to Mordo being pissy, just being like, they're gonna come back and judge you soon, and Doctor Strange is like, they're all dying, and he's like, nuh-uh.
Nuh-uh.
It's like, dude, access your fucking Ultron bot security. There's no way she killed all of them. Watch your teammate die, and then have it confirmed, but we'll get to that anyway. We cut back to the fight, and for some reason, Scarlet Witch and Captain Carter are having, like, close combat back and forth. It's like, what? Why?
Yeah, it's like, how did...
That was just fucking
you don't understand. This is her being reasonable.
Okay.
Oh, right. My bad.
What else can you do when you're a hack writer and you got to make these two fight? You put them in a I Am All the Jedi type fight where they just blast a laser at each other and
circle.
Yeah. Like, I think legit in this film when I was watching it, I was just like, how in the world is she gonna kill Captain Marvel? And you know when she vaporizes her like face mask thing? I was like, oh, is it just gonna be she vaporizes her? I guess that's a way to do it, because how else can you do it? Because I don't understand how she can kill Captain Marvel. I just don't get it. Other than just vaporizing her, but I don't think that's satisfying. It would just be like, oh, okay.
I guess I don't even know that I would buy that. It's like, what does it mean to be able to vaporize somebody who seems to be pretty impervious to like physical harm, you know?
I don't know. But no, they went way worse. They blast away from each other. Captain Marvel hits a statue and then falls down to the ground, while Wanda just sort of lands much nicely. Because obviously if she slammed into a statue, she would have broken her back. So can't have that happening. But she spots that Captain Marvel is down on the floor and there's a statue above her. So maybe if she makes the statue fall on her, she will win. And she is correct.
Which is fucking stupid. Captain Marvel doesn't give a shit about a statue falling on her. Come on.
She flew through
a spaceship.
She even, like, when the statue's coming at her, she puts her arms up to, like, defend herself. I was like, just fly away.
Lost it.
Fly away.
Yeah,
Fly. Yeah.
You have so many options.
And this is the thing. You have all of us. who are not fans of Captain Marvel being like, hey,
like her.
Captain Marvel deserves better than this. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. We're
So,
doing it.
the door swings open, and they gawk at the reveal that the Book of Vishanti is now within their grasp, and they just stare for a good while.
Yeah,
And
the
then
minute it feels like. It's
Doctor
like, oh.
Strange jumps down, and then he looks up and he's like, alrighty, next, jump down.
I'll
And
catch
they
ya. It's fine.
talk about it, and that's fine, jump down.
Let's go walk
jump
over
down.
there while
Let's
let's
look at it
walk over
first.
there.
Let's have a nice long
Yeah.
look at it, and then we'll slowly...
In case you didn't get a good enough look already. But
Yeah,
let's saunter over there. Not in a rush.
They even reveal the nature of this place. Christine says this is the Gap Junction.
The space between universes.
I guess there's breathable air between universes.
Well,
Sure.
so, yeah, just to make sure people understand, there is one of these. One.
Yeah. There is one Book of Vishanti, but there are like an infinite number of Darkholds. They're in every universe, seemingly.
So yeah, it takes fucking ages to finally just put his hand on the book. And then he's like, okay, book. And then he picks it up. And then, oh no, Scarlet Witch is here. And she's grabbing America. And it's like, damn, so if you would just... Literally, as soon as the door opened, been like, you two, go, 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 go. Now. Don't fucking think about it, just go. And then grab the watch, close the door. Wanda's fucked.
Thank you, Cloak. That should give us some more time. Or maybe just a little time. Alright, Book. Give me what I need.
Did you really think that little door was going to stop me from Vishanti?
Wanda.
This! Oh, I've missed you so much.
Can we leave now?
Oh, right. Yeah.
No, the Book of Virginity.
But what if they did it as slowly and dumbly as possible?
Oh.
I don't think they could have gone slower if they had tried.
Urgency is just not a thing in this movie. It's
yeah.
very infuriating.
And what are the consequences of this?
Oh,
Wanda's there,
massive.
And then Christine's like, "Oh no!" And then Doctor Strange is like, "No, let me cast a spell," which Wanda reflects, and the Book of Vishanti burns away. It's gone.
They don't even try to get rid of the fire. They're just looking at it.
They don't even try to put it out. They
correctly.
just watch it.
Yeah, they
it's
just
like,
watch
oh
it.
no, it's
And
burning. Anyway.
It happened so fast to me. I thought it might have been like a meme, like it was an illusion. Like it was like, no fucking way that you set this thing up as the greatest power in the fucking universe, and then you just boom. It's like, oh yeah. You think Wong might ask about it at some point, and Doctor Strange will have to tell him, yeah, it's destroyed, and he'd be like, this.
Yeah,
wow,
and it's like destroyed. How did that happen? It's like I went to grab it. It's like as quickly as possible, right? Yeah, and reasonably hurried pace. Like you want to be careful though. It's like sure, but like pretty quick, right? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I grabbed it and then I cast a little laser spell. It's like what? You didn't like use any portals or like mirror dimension again or like anything? No, it's a little laser. She reflected it though. It's like, yeah, who could have seen that coming? I know, nobody, right? I mean, fuck me.
Because no one could have seen that coming. Because I have no idea what could ever happen at any given moment.
Well, the spell he fires at her, I was like, that's a new one. It's like a Death Star laser with little rings around it. It's like, oh, okay.
Flex it.
Yep.
Music fight.
Yeah, we have a music fight instead. I mean, what can you even say about this mechanically? I have no fucking clue what's happening. They're just musicking each other.
Idea.
Why did they both decide to use the music notes? Like, the thing I've heard is that Doctor Strange is a fan of classical music, so that's why he chose it. That's not a good enough. No.
Is it not odd as fuck? He fires like a barrage of those things into Sinister Strange. It doesn't do anything to him other than make him go, whoa, whoa,
oh no.
Whoa. To me, this is just like the end point of Doctor Strange's powers, where you're like, yeah, stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, how does he start this fight? He pulls them off music sheets. It's like, but how does that work? That's just ink. And it's like,
well,
magic. Shut up.
While I'm under, I needed to protect my body in case they attack me for trespassing.
Who's they?
Souls of the damned.
Okay. And then he's preparing to dreamwalk, and she's like, don't you need a living thing to dreamwalk into? And he's like, who said that? This is going to be pretty useless for him, because getting into zombie Defender Strange puts you in New York City, which is very far away from Mount Wenticore or whatever. So you're going to need something to get you there.
Well, Mount Wenticore is actually in southern Canada, so it's not that far, I guess.
Well, I'm sure you can walk there, but that still wouldn't be fast enough, would it?
It's going to take a bit too long.
Yeah, he's going to need something, some kind of... He's going to have to walk somewhere to get something, I don't know. But luckily for him, when he rises from his grave, they have a very explicit shot to show he has a sling ring.
Oh, that's useful.
Oh?
Which, very, very upsetting when I saw that in the old theater, because you lied to me, movie. You told me he didn't have one. You told me he died because he didn't have one. But he has one. I've never more explicitly felt in my head, I was like, you cheaters.
How dare you?
Kind of changes the whole movie, really.
The opening scene should have been him opening a portal directly to the book with America. He grabs it, casts a spell to kill Spaghetti Monster, casts a spell to kill Wanda, and then the credits roll.
Yep.
Yep. And that would be the end.
Movie.
But no,
the whole movie changes because they forgot that he had it.
They didn't. Did they forget, or did they get to this point and they went, "Oh shit"?
Yeah, that's the reality. They
That's
got to this
probably
point.
what happened. Yeah.
They said, "How does he get to the mountain?" It's like sling ring. It's like, yeah, but he can't. They wouldn't even have said that. They would have just said sling ring. No, I don't even believe that they remembered he's not supposed to have one. They would have been like, yeah, he's a dead Strange. Because to be honest with you, Doctor Strange should have taken that off him when he buried him. He should have been like, that's a sling ring.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking useful.
That's really useful. Yeah. Plus, if for whatever reason the one that I have gets magically disappeared, then I will have a spare.
He portals away, ends up on Mount Wenticore, and then you hear a voice say something like,
Stephen Strange possessing the dead is forbidden,
or something like that. And it's like,
So-
wait, what?
So it's
What the fuck are
forbidden
you?
to dreamwalk into dead bodies, but it's not forbidden to dreamwalk into living people.
Apparently.
It's more
Apparently.
ethical to dreamwalk into dead people.
Yeah.
It's literally more ethical.
Oh no.
Yeah, but
the demons are like, oh, you did something that's
you can't be
better,
doing
worse,
that.
We're
worse.
gonna get you and drag you to hell.
Yeah.
And of course, someone in chat has said, "Forbidden by whom?" Good question. There
Yeah.
will be no answer in this film.
By all the squeaky demons.
Clearly Mephisto, I guess. He's
Yeah,
like,
some
hey.
nightmare or something. I
Also,
don't
wait.
know. It's someone.
Someone in chat said they didn't even hide it. He has it in the opening scene. I did have a look. I couldn't see it in the opening scene, but if he actually is fucking wearing it in the opening scene, I don't know. That's almost worse. Yeah.
That's worse.
Which problem would you like to have? Take your pick.
Something happens that I really don't fucking like. So he's struggling, okay? He be struggling.
Struggling.
He's writhing. He doesn't know what to do. He's going to hell. Help him out. By the way, this is a line that's celebrated by so many people as like an awesome fuck yeah moment in the film. We're gonna have a different conversation about it. He grabs his hand and
Oh, fuck no.
he says, "Hey, you're the master of the mystic arts. They're spirits. Use them." And then they do like fucking guitar sound. And he's like, "Oh yeah."
That's a good idea. I'll use them. Whatever
I
that
remember
means.
that as an
that.
epic line. I didn't even remember the line till now.
I
Two-
mainly remember the
two-
guitar noises.
Two major issues with this. First, why the hell is that something you're telling him? What the fuck? He's the Sorcerer Supreme, like, let's be honest. He's so, it's like, why the hell wouldn't he have done this to begin with? Why would he need Christine to tell him, you're a sorcerer, bro? Like, but, I'd say possibly the more pressing issue, these things, specifically designed to drag a sorcerer to hell if they start to infect and control a dead body, their greatest
Possessed.
weakness is a sorcerer.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the fuck's the point?
The point is that they wanted the imagery of Doctor Strange with a bunch of like scary skeleton arms and then flying with a massive like cape assembled from demons.
it's all
That's
set
what
up.
it is.
this looked really cool.
Yeah,
and it did. It looked cool as hell.
This
answers,
film is beholden to a lot of visuals that they wanted.
It answers all the questions for why any of this happened. All of it's been crazy nonsense, everything to do with these spirits. And it's like, yeah, it all happened because they were just trying to get the visual. That's it.
And they wanted the trailer shot, the trailer shot of a zombie Doctor Strange with a bunch of crazy, like, skeleton arms.
And it works. People have been sharing the fuck out of it, being like one of the best parts of the film. Is amazing. And I'm just sitting here like, I mean, visually, sure.
Visually, it's cool, but it's abject nonsense.
That makes sense. Kind of important.
Yeah, it'd be nice if it made sense, but never mind. We can't have everything. So he's heading toward the temple with his big old spirit wings now, and the demons spot him, and one of them starts casting some wonder spells, and it's like, wait, what? Oh, okay, here we go. We're about to have our big fight. He gets stabbed in the head by Wong and pulled off the cliff. It's like, oh.
That one didn't get pre-visualized, so there was no fight.
There's 3 left. So, you know, what are we going to do with them?
Well, because remember, they're throwing little rocks at him. They're like, here's a rock. I'm going to get you. They're throwing them rocks down, but then, they get...
They want to use those Wanda powers again. Let's just use the rocks.
Yeah, you just give them a little push, and they're all dead. That's it.
Easy peasy.
And that's the end of those monsters.
Yep, that's what they contributed.
Intimidating monsters. Well, and trailer shots.
Well, funny you mentioned that, of course, because Doctor Strange then takes the time to acknowledge he can see Wong. Wong shouts Strange's name, and he does a little spinny, cool, like I'm awesome thing, and then he lands to attack Wanda, and it's like, bro, what about Wong?
What about Wong, your buddy, who you haven't seen for a while?
He's hanging on the edge of a cliff.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe this in the trailer. He's like, oh, Strange, like he screams it like he's scared of what's happening to mislead you. But in the film, he's like, Strange, woohoo, yeah. I don't know how I feel about this, where you include content that isn't in the film to trick people.
Strange!
Well, the funny thing is that take is more suitable. Wong shouldn't be happy that he's seeing this. He shouldn't be.
Oh, yeah, because how does he know that it's actually
not even
Doctor Strange?
The easy, straightforward argument is this is evidence that Strange is using the Darkhold, which corrupts you.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
And also, you don't even know that this is the real Strange. It could just be a zombie Strange, you know?
Yeah, this doesn't look great. Whatever's happening, even though those beasts got knocked off the cliff, it's like, you don't know what's going on here, man. And then instead of inspecting that and asking a question, they make it a joke.
I don't even want to know.
Nice.
I know you've been having a bad day, but like, man, you really do want to know, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Wanda,
well, before that happens, I want to highlight that Wanda is only aware of him once he lands. She hasn't paid attention to anything that's happened up to that point.
Yeah.
None of it. Just is not aware of any of that. And obviously, she has not finished the big suck.
Hey, that's a lot of power to travel the multiverse. How long? You tell me how long she should be sucking.
10 years.
10 years later.
Wanda is just as fucking dense now as she always has been. The first thing she says when she sees him is, hypocrite!
Dreamwalking, you hypocrite!
And it's like,
yeah,
bro,
well,
when you're about to destroy the fucking multiverse, yes, I will use the Darkhold.
Well, it's kind of funny because in interviews, that's something that Elizabeth Olsen's been saying, like, oh, she's calling out the hypocrisy. It's like, is this one of like the 5 lines that sort of happens with each Marvel movie of like the broad topics that you have to keep hitting every time? It doesn't make sense. How is he a hypocrite for using the Darkhold to save the universe when you're using it to just destroy everything?
To get to your kids that aren't even yours. It's like
they're not even yours.
Like unbelievable.
It's so in chat. You're like liar. It's like it's worse than that. It's way worse than that. This final battle sucks. It's like all it is that Doctor Strange is like, here, have some ghosts. They're gonna get you, and then we're gonna put you in like a sphere and lock you in, and then there's a couple punches. That's the final battle.
Well, the way that they portray it is she fires a bunch of her magic at him, and the demons eat it all. Like, it seems to me that they were trying to, they were trying to tell us that if anything, her attacks will just power him up. I was like, okay, that ain't true soon enough.
No.
Yeah.
You're gonna take my power, aren't you? Before Wanda can. It's okay. I understand now.
It's just like, fuck you. What exactly was her arc regarding that? And someone might intuitively say, well, it's the amount of death she's seen, surely. And it's like, they didn't really leverage that, did they?
It's never really acknowledged throughout the film.
Nope.
Because America's just kind of a plot device. She's not really much of a character at all.
No.
Yeah.
Fucking annoying. There should have been several moments where she has to come to terms with the fact that every fucking person that dies with Wanda chasing her, she has some level of it, like cause and effect chain. She's involved. She's not ethically responsible in any way as far as I'm concerned, but at the same time, she's going to feel as though she is.
Well, that responsibility belongs to Maria Rambeau for letting Wanda go at the end of WandaVision.
Monica Rambeau.
Monica, sorry.
Yes, you're right. Because Monica might have actually had the capacity to, I guess we'll find out in the movie, right? Like what she can do. She might have been able to stop her.
Dude, yeah, probably. And I wouldn't even be surprised if she, like, confirms she was so correct with what she did in Westview.
It will never, no, I don't think it'll ever be acknowledged again. I think they'll forget. I think they moved on. Like, Monica's involvement in Wanda's story, I think, is over.
I imagine Westview might get a line because it's going to be where she got her power from.
Maybe, but like, no, I don't think they're going to reference Wanda. I think they're just moving on. It's like, no, she's getting her own story. Like, we're not.
And she got another version of her mum killed.
Yep. Well done.
Sure, actually. That's,
are you beating off
I didn't even think of that.
Beaten off? Oh, no. Doctor Strange just sort of tanks a shot from Scarlet Witch. He almost walks into it. He just takes it, and it burns half of his fucking body off. It's like, oh. Yeah. America's disappeared for a minute. It's like, what's going on? She starts really incinerating Doctor Strange to the point where he's like, ah, and then you hear like a, and it's fucking America, and she like jumps in a hero pose. It's just like, what is this?
Yeah, what are we doing? Jesus Christ.
And yeah, she punches Wanda in the face so hard it causes a shockwave that spreads through the entire mountain.
So like, Wanda's dead.
Wanda is in pieces.
Yeah, she has no head. It just popped off.
It's so stupid. Like, I was just like, what are you trying to say? And Wanda's just like taking them. She's not stopping her.
Like a couple of them.
Yeah, because
whatever.
It's at that point that she like, when she punches her, it opens a portal to like a Mustafar, and Wanda nearly falls in. But then, like, America throws another punch and Wanda blocks it. And she's like, I can't defeat you. And it's like, yeah, you could have. Just kick her into the Mustafar.
Just close the portal. She's in Mustafar.
Yeah.
Her feet are in Mustafar. She could have just closed the portal and won. She's fucked if she's left there.
But no, we still got drama we need to have occur.
Worth pointing out, Doctor Strange said the plan, in full, was kick her ass. That's all he's got. He doesn't have any other plan. She tried to kick her ass. It didn't work. So Doctor Strange should right now be like, well, that's it.
Guess
we lost.
That's it. Multiverse.
Yeah, sorry. I kind of just hoped.
I do know. I don't know what other magic bullshit I could pull out of my asshole for this one. I think we might actually have run out of things the writers gave us.
But then America opens up one last portal. And it's to the Westview house in the alternate universe. It's actually the Illuminati universe. It's
well, because Wanda's got scars on her face, the good one.
Well, it's honestly, if it were any other one, it wouldn't make anywhere near as much sense. But it also doesn't make any sense because the idea here is that Wanda, thanks to Charles, understands what's happening to some degree because he explained it to her, if you remember, kind of quickly.
Yeah. Wanda Maximoff, your mind is being held hostage by your alternate self.
So that's what informs why she ends up saying what she says. So yes, this is that universe. That's going to cause loads of problems in a second. We're going to get there. So she sees her kids, and they scream at her like, oh my god, Bobby, what the fuck? And then
she's confused as to why they would be upset when this crazy version of their mom just teleports in.
The good Wanda turns up, and Scarlet Witch Wanda just fucking blasts her away instantly, because it's just like, yeah, of course. Yeah. And America sees that, and she goes to do something, because that's what a normal good person would do, and Doctor Strange goes, no, wait. And it's like, wait, bro.
Why?
Hello, she might kill her. Like, what do you mean? Wait, it's just like, yeah, because Doctor Strange has already predicted exactly how this will go. When he has no fucking reason to think it'll go the way it does. Her kids are pretty terrified because their monster mother just attacked their actual mother, and monster mother is like,
stop it!
Please don't hurt us.
whoa, this is so good because she's realizing she's a monster now. And we're all just sitting here like, okay.
Like, come on.
Okay.
So, what exactly is happening here? And it's just like, just seeing her kids upset, that's enough. And it's like, okay. It just sucks then, doesn't it? That the entire film, all these different people appealing to her and all these miserable fucking lives getting snuffed out as they scream in pain because of all the efforts they put into trying to stop her from taking over the entire multiverse or destroying it. None of that is not even a blip. What is, though, is her children who aren't even hers crying because she's beaten up their mum. Of course they're crying. And that is where I would like to highlight, Strange had no fucking clue about any of this. He said to America, go kick that bitch's ass. He did not entail, you should open up a portal to her alternate self and show her to her kids to make her realize how much of a monster. He didn't say any of that. He had no idea. He was just watching this happen. He's like, please, 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 please work. Whatever this is, please work.
Does he even know she can do like crazy punches at all? I don't know if he saw that happen in the movie ever.
No, he did. You're right. He didn't. I don't even know what he thought was going to happen here.
Yeah, so I don't know what I don't know what he expected to happen.
The idea with that character has more powers than just traveling through the multiverse, right? But he doesn't know that because this is
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, there was unless it was between cuts that she told him about all of it or something.
I mean,
that's how you do storytelling, okay?
You leave all the important information during the cuts when nobody can see it.
Yeah, Wanda then decides, fuck it, I'm just going to destroy the temple with me in it. That's probably the best thing to do since I'm a horrible fucking influence on the world. Like, probably. Yes, she destroys herself while America escapes with Wong. They go right to Kamatage.
So Doctor Strange technically wasn't even at the final battle scene of his own fucking movie.
Dude, I don't even know what did he do? Like he told America to do a thing. She didn't even do that thing, and the thing she did won the day. And then Wanda did a thing that ended one. Like Doctor Strange in this film is so beyond embarrassing. I don't even know what to say.
Also, I guess, so yeah, she destroys the castle, and it destroys the Darkhold in every universe.
So she destroyed the Darkhold in every universe.
How? That goes against everything! Fuck you!
She did the right thing.
Why?
That's handy.
Why?
First and foremost for me, it has to be mentioned immediately. She's going to destroy every Darkhold in every universe, and this is considered a plus by Doctor Strange, a man who just saved the multiverse with the Darkhold.
Yeah.
So he talks to Wong, and he's like, are you happy? You'd think I'd be happy of saving the world, but you know what? I'm not happy. And then Wong is like, it's just so on the nose in terms of like what they're trying to tell you is the message in this film. Wong just goes,
sometimes I do wonder about other lives. And I remain grateful in this one, even with its tribulations.
At least we don't have to go through it alone, huh?
No, we don't.
I guess that's their message. Just like, if you're not happy, just try to be.
It could be worse.
It could be worse.
Write a gratitude list. The end.
Yeah. One last catastrophe. So,
oh boy, there's always room for one more.
Doctor Strange is about to leave, and America's like, wait, hey, how you doing? And then he's like, oh, I'm doing fine. How are you doing? She's like, oh, I'm coming along. And he's like, you know what? Your parents will be proud, and it's gonna be great when you tell them one day. And that should remind you of like, wait a minute.
She can go there whenever she wants.
She can open portals to people. We learned she gets Doctor Strange and Christine out of the spooky universe. That means she can open on you. So all she has to do. And you saw from the memory store, she's got a pretty strong understanding of who those people are at this point. Think about them, open the portal, you got them.
That's assuming they're not dead.
Well,
they probably are.
The fact is that little bit of dialogue confirms she has not tried.
Yeah.
Which is
not good for her
character. Yep. I'd argue that's the biggest assassination America Chavez can face, and she's barely started as a character.
Well done.
Nice. Always good to start at ground zero.
Congratulations.
They destroyed one of the most low-effort characters of all time. Well done, Marvel.
This is what I mean. That's a speed run. It's like, how do you destroy someone with no traits? And it's like, you found a way.
High fives all around.
A jean jacket with an American flag, and she's called America, even though she's from a completely different dimension.
I always find it confusing to call her America, but I'm hoping people have managed to get through this, like, while following me instead of assuming
sound bites from that.
She says, everyone get out of here, and then struggles for like 10,000 years trying to open up America's box. I don't know why.
Don't say America's box.
Yeah. He also repairs his watch, symbolically moving on, presumably.
One of the 3 arcs also complete now.
Yeah.
We're getting those arcs complete and done. And then he's like, I'm gonna go for a stroll through New York. Oh no, I got a 3rd eye, and then the end. That's the end of the movie.
Then I'm gonna go for another stroll.
Yeah.
I was like,
then I'm gonna go for another stroll, yeah. And then there's Charlize Theron, she's Clea, and then incursion's happening. We're going on an adventure. See, because Clea's more on his level. He's moving on from Christine.
Yeah,
unless you're afraid.
Not in the least.
He's not going to have any fear. He's going to go for it, because that's the new Doctor Strange.
I found it very confusing, because we end the first end before we get to the mid-credits scene. It's like, oh no, 3rd eye, ah! It's like, oh shit, this is gonna be bad. And then the mid-credit scene comes. Oh yeah, I'm ready. And then he opens the 3rd eye, and so I was like, oh, I guess it's not bad then.
I think it was supposed to be like more of a meme, that initial end, like, oh, not like, oh no, what's gonna happen to him?
Because that's meant to be setting up the corruption of the Darkhold. Yeah.
You know what that original, you know what that first ending was, where he's losing control. That's an Evil Dead reference.
Oh, there we go. That sorts out everything.
There we go.
At the end, I'm sure you guys noticed, or maybe you walked out. At the end of the film, it was called a Kevin Feige production.
Yeah,
That was weird at the end.
I thought that was newish. I didn't realize if that had been done before.
I think it started with Hawkeye, and now everything that's happened since.
Because I noticed it with Moon Knight and this, and I was like, I don't remember seeing this before, but he's making sure we know now. Despite the drop off on the second Friday, I would still argue like the fact that we would see this as one of the most incoherent scripts we've ever come across, and it's this successful. It's like, oh boy, we're in for more of this.
Yeah, you bet they'll be making more. I mean, they have been making more. This is not an anomaly. This is just in a long line of terrible, horrible movies that don't make sense.
I don't know how to stress. This is a special kind of bad. We haven't been here. This is uncharted territory.
Yeah, I'm scared. I don't know where we're going next. I just don't.
It's all up from here, surely, right?
Thor's gonna go find himself again, guys. He's gonna really find himself this time.
Thor: Love and Thunder's gotta be better than this, right? Right?
We need to find the damn remote so we can download the distress signal.
I'm putting them down.
We shouldn't be surprised by anything from here on out. That's all I'm saying. Like, Thor could be worse. It could be worse.
I don't
Remember,
know, Gary. I still get shocked sometimes. I'm just like, really? You did that? And you could be like, they did it 10 times before. And I'm like, I know, but still.
But hey, not every comic book film has to be so serious. Or connect to the larger narrative of the MCU. Or bring a new dimension to favorite characters. Or introduce cool new heroes. Or build up a new big villain. Or have a central theme. Or smoothly shift between tones. Or explain what a god even is. Or have clearly defined stakes. Or make sense in general. Or be consistently funny. Or look good outside of action scenes. Or
you know that phrase, the final nail in the coffin? I think that it's appropriate because every nail is the final nail as long as you stop, right? But
They keep putting in more nails.
They keep putting in more nails. So that's why we could say it's the final nail in the coffin over and over and over again. Because tentatively, yes, it's the final nail.
Yeah,
oh god, they made another one. Yes, that's the final nail.
Just start putting nails in the middle of the coffin, just the nails going into the corpse.
Into the corpse, yeah.
Eventually, you got to start putting in smaller nails just to fill in the tiny gaps in between.
All the big nails, yeah.
The future is bright.
When you told me about Moon Knight, and I was right there with you, I'm like, I didn't think they would go that on the nose with it, but they did.
That last episode of we haven't even chat. You got that to look forward to one day.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Moon Knight. At least Moon Knight's better than this.
Yes. Yes.
Moon Knight is definitely.
Yes.
It's got some character stuff in there that's kind of.
Yeah, you know
worthwhile.
what? Yes, I'm very comfortable. Yes.
Moon Knight costume's cool. The
Yes.
5 minutes of Moon Knight's pretty cool.
The 5 minutes of Moon Knight is pretty cool. Sometimes.
You
Mother.
What'd you bring me?